As we all know that you are French, so now many Chinese companies, they want to go to the international market. They want to become an international brand, and they want to have activities in the global market. Right? Some companies are very successful. DJI, these Pop Mart, and Huawei, they are very good. But most of the companies have no clue. Right? In the international market, the French brands has the image of high quality, high value, and quite expensive brands. But people still buy and they pursue some French brands like Louis Vuitton or luxury brands. We sell at very high price, but people still go for it. So I would like to ask you, as you have been in China for almost 20 years, we have seen a lot of companies trying very hard to go to the international market, but something go wrong in these activities. Could you give some typical behaviors that the company in China, they do totally wrong to go to the international market, let's say the high-end market? So could you please give some examples?
For example, today what we should all be proud in China is how the EV car in China, a very successful product and working quite well. I think it reflects on what China is capable in terms of good quality and in terms of good product. But here's the marketing problem is that I've seen many different brands coming, first of all, with the Chinese team to overseas, which I think sometimes is okay for them to learn, but not necessarily to, I would say, develop the image of the product there. We have seen that also in our industry in solar, where you see some companies, they bring the whole local team from China to overseas, but they don't get how overseas people are working or the local culture. For example, in our case, what we did to penetrate French market, we have a French team in Paris. So we don't bring local people from Shanghai or from Nantong to there because it's not the same culture, it's not the same behavior. So first of all, it's important to work with local people. Local people have the similar experience, culture, who understand well, language, of course. So this is very important because when you want to sell, if I want to sell, for example, in Italy, but I don't speak Italian, even me as French, it will not work well because they will say we need to understand each other to make business. So this is very important. And for example, companies like LV, Dior, etc., they have some leaders, French leader, but most of the staff is Chinese staff in Shanghai. I know those companies and I know their staff. So that means that they try to work by developing locally the people and the channel.
Localized operations.
Exactly. So this is very important, is localize the operation. Even though you can bring some people from the Chinese entity, but you have to localize the operation and make sure you have the right people also. So you can also embark them to come to China to give them a training about the culture of the company and everything. But at the end, you need to have local people. So this is very important.
So some Chinese companies still send a bunch of Chinese employees to overseas.
I see it a lot, especially in solar. You have many of our competitors, finally they move China to Europe. So no, what's the value to do that? And sometimes it's even more expensive because when you have to bring local people to there and they don't adapt to the cultures, they don't know how to make social network or how to create a friendship because they're in the closed loop. So this is very bad. So this is the first thing. The second thing, I think when you want to go overseas is sell your value. Don't sell cheap. We have to stop saying many companies need to stop selling only with low price. This is very, very negative. Especially, for example, when we talk about EV car, I know many EV car companies now, they want to sell cheap price to enter the market. And this is the wrong way because it's such a good industry, such well done that it should not be by being cheap, it's being innovative, bringing value. Exactly. Position the brand very well. Now China is positively known for the construction, the build of the EV car, then bring it at the added value. For example, France is famous for luxury product. No French company will sell at low price because they know they are known and they have a strong reputation on that. So China has a strong reputation on EV car, they should sell it more expensive. China has a strong reputation on solar industry, they should sell it more expensive. But what they do, they only conflict with the cheapest price. I don't understand why. Well, we know that China is mastering those things. So bring the high value product, bring really the elegance that you bring them, that you are strong at. And this is very important.
But they need to show.
Exactly. So how do you show sometimes that is a problem? Is consistency of the quality of the product and quality of the production. So, and this was the problem. Sometimes many local producer, they will use different standard for Europe, for Latin America, for Middle East, etc. I believe that also China should keep the same standard for everyone. Even though some market want lower price, but don't decrease the price. Make them understand they need to pay for the value. And this is the problem, is sometimes too much, you want too much to sell, that you say, okay, let's decrease the value and we'll sell there. But it's not the long-term best way to do that. It's better to sell high quality. For example, as you say, Huawei is the same price everywhere.
Yes.
You remember we went to Dubai, the mobile phone was the same price, so quality, etc. So that means there is some successful company in China that know how to do that. But I believe 100% of the company in China should be doing that. So in this way, you don't fight with low price, you fight with value, with innovation, with something more positive than just being competitive on a cheaper price. And unfortunately, we see in social media, when you see on TikTok or anything, all the factories, they are selling, come to us, very cheap price.
Hello, boss, have the cheapest price.
Cheapest price, yeah.
Have the best quality.
Yeah, that's why, of course, what is cheap is not good and what is good is not cheap. So this is the key point where I always advise companies here in China around us when they want to consult us that we should tell them, sell with value, because value on the long term is what works. And this is why we're still here after 18 years of doing our industry, because we never want to sell cheap. So we don't want to be recognized as a cheap brand. So always understand those, I would say, 3 to 4 principles when you want to export your brand overseas. It's very important. It's consistency, quality, value.
Last but not least, I would like you also give a very good advice to our Chinese followers and Chinese peers that in all the French companies, they're super good at marketing and right. So while in China, companies they put sales first. Marketing sometimes they think is not necessary. If we go to the international market, marketing is essential.
Yes.
It's very necessary.
Yes.
So could you give more advice to our followers, like how you differentiate your brand by doing marketing?
It's important is just the value of the company and just what's the value for the client by working with the company. I mean, there's a lot of missing points. For example, I haven't some good brand like Huawei. I mean, in China, we know the story of Huawei and how the guy created, but many people overseas, they don't know. And I think people need to recognize themselves in the brand. Why Louis Vuitton is famous, for example, is the Louis Vuitton luggage that went into Titanic and finally find out So I think they need a storytelling about the brand. And this is where French people are very good at storytelling, At the end, the brand is just about storytelling, how you create company. For example, in our way, when we created EG, we were like, we want to build a greener world. We started from nothing and we saw that everybody should use renewable energy because it should be available for everyone.
And we always tell like what our product can bring value to you.
Exactly.
Like what the benefits by using our, right? Like the French brands, like, okay, you are entering a high level society.
Exactly. Elegance. You can show it everyone,
And the cosmetics, the French companies are selling like, okay, bring your use.
Exactly.
For the TV commercials, right?
Exactly.
Something like people, they feel like, okay, I would definitely want to try this.
Exactly. So this is very important. That's why I believe that even though you want to sell with cheap price, it will be a one-shot thing, a one-time thing. Well, if you sell with value, you will sell the long-term, your brand prospering.
So then the mentality, we need to really change it. If you want to go to the international market and do well in marketing, please never say we sell cheap.
I mean, especially as now China become a superpower country with a lot of good products and people recognize it now everywhere in the world. I mean, DJI is one of the most sold product in the world. You understand?
Leading brand in drones.
It's a leading brand and it never decrease the price but sell value and quality through the camera, through the drone, etc. Huawei also send very good mobile phone, very good product also. So there is good product. So look at those products as, I would say, the leader as examples that every company should do locally. Sell with quality, sell with value. Don't always focus on cheap, because cheap is just a one-shot business. It's not a long-term business.
All right, I think you have shared quite a lot of information to our followers, right? I hope our video is really useful for you. Thank you for watching.